Welcome to Bears in Exile. Today is Sunday, April 22nd, and this is the update to Vegas Baby. Looking at Boyd, MGM, LVS, WYNN, Williams, and Caesars. Alright, starting off with the weakest Vegas stock, Boyd. And let's see, since the last video, it's done pretty good actually. The last video we had just a flat line in the MACD histogram at the 0, waiting for it to do something, and then mixed with the RSI, CCI, stochastics being mixed, and essentially sideways on the 14-day RSI moving average. We needed more data, and now we have more data. CCI going way up, following the price trying to go up and retest this recent ceiling, and not quite getting over the upper price consensus level, ending with an inverse hammer, stopping right at the Bollinger Bands, which have constricted, meaning there should be a decent move in the very near future. And this is encouraging now that it is sliding out, that it will be to the upside. 14-day RSI moving average finally ticking up on Friday. RSI ticking up, histogram sloping up, getting the bullish cross on the MACD. Overall, not too bad. If this one is doing good, overall Vegas should be doing good, simply because this should be the one that gets slammed the hardest. So definitely positive looking, modestly. It needs to break this ceiling, or else it's going to have some trouble. If we look at its volume, try to get an understanding of what's happening with buying. Well, we had a new green arrow on Friday, volume weighted MACD. You can see the volume price trend is running out of space. It will turn green before too long. You can see that we're underway getting a green on the unbalanced volume. Very good signal. Running out of room on the accumulation distribution. Also a very good signal. And we're turning around on the dual volume flow. So very potentially, very soon, we're definitely going to have 3 greens, and before too long, probably 5 greens. This is a really good sign for Vegas. And Boyd, not too shabby. So if this one's doing good, what do the other ones look like? Well, my favorite, MGM. Oh, look at that. Not as nice as Boyd over the last week, but still not terrible. Still have a little bit of the long-term moving averages left. Middle Bollinger Band is right in the middle of everything, but closing below the lower price consensus level. So that's kind of interesting. 14-day RSI moving average going sideways, stochastics rolling over, going down, CCI down, RSI sideways, MACD histogram very slight downtick, MACD going sideways. Kind of surprising that this one would be doing better than Boyd, and I think that is news driven, based on some headlines. Can we confirm it with volume, or is this a not jiving? Well, we don't have any greens. We have 5 reds, and they essentially apexed back here right before this top, and got a confirmation of 4th right as it was starting to really fall apart. So that's nice. It had a re-entry which was would have been stopped out, and now we're seeing what's going to happen when you have 5s and an extended period after those 5s. Do we have any greens about to come? We're close on the volume weighted MACD, we're close on the unbalanced volume, but they are both pointed down. Plenty of room on the accumulation distribution, plenty of room on the volume price trend, plenty of room on the dual volume flow. So yes, this one is definitely weaker than Boyd, which is unusual. Maybe it's just gotten too far ahead of itself. But in any case, definitely weaker. And moving on to the strongest. Yeah, I'll do the strongest next. LVS. Yeah, it's been taking a little bit of a hit, similar to MGM, still above the major price consensus level, although we are getting across on the middle Bollinger Band. Down on the CCI, sideways on the 14-day RSI moving average. Stochastics pointing down, but seem to be losing some momentum. Down on the RSI, down on the histogram, down on the MACD. This one also does not look that great, so kind of interesting that Boyd would be showing much more strength. And looking at the volume, wow, we have 2 greens and 3 reds. The reds would have hit it right before this this decline, which is pretty darn fresh. And are we in danger of some flipping over? Yes, we are. Unbalanced volume about to cross. Accumulation distribution not too far away from a cross. We could have a flip over in the dual volume flow, but it is pointing down. A little bit of room in the volume weighted MACD and plenty of room in the volume price trend overall. Yeah, it looks definitely more bearish than bullish. So why would Boyd be higher? Very interesting. They might have had a good quarter, I just haven't read it. So even Las Vegas Sands does not look too wonderful, coming in on the major price consensus level and the recent floor. Bust that out and be going to just shy of 53. Not a bad decline. Are we having a sector rotation? Well, we'll keep looking. WYNN, second strongest Vegas stock. Ah, look at that. Very, very different. Big jump up, retaking the 200-day moving average. Don't have a nice green candle to confirm it. Instead, it's just fighting with it. 14-day RSI moving average now swinging up. Stochastics up. CCI very high and coming down. RSI slight down. Histogram up. MACD up. And a bullish cross. Ooh. So now we have 2 ugly looking ones and 2 good looking ones. Very interesting. And looking at the volume on WYNN, what can we see? We have 1 green, 2 green, and 3 reds. And what's in danger here? Well, dual volume flow could be going up for a cross. Accumulation distribution still pointing down, but not far away from its trigger line. We could get a green on that one pretty darn fast. Unbalanced volume is in trouble and could turn red. Volume weighted MACD is very close to turning green, and volume price trend green, but not much wiggle room. So it is very mixed and could go in either direction. Pretty kind of messy actually, but even with this move up, we still have 3 reds, even though that would have stopped out. Get a new red, unbalanced volume in particular, and we could have a re-entry short. So very, 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 very interesting. You'll notice also that the recent high was kissed, and it backed away immediately, and has not done it again. So short-term double top, very possible. But yeah, indicators not bad at all in the daily time frame. So well, we need some more information now, don't we? CZR Caesars, we were talking about way back here about the and in the past about the need for selling as covenants are reached, and the people who bought at 5 are able to sell. Well, nasty week, getting down to 1252, away from its high, recent high here, just below 16. Pretty big move to the downside. It is bearish engulfing. There isn't enough data here to reconstruct all of the indicators that we use, simply because it's only been around since February. But bearish engulfing, we can imagine that the middle Bollinger Band would be above the short-term moving averages. Probably the bar would be somewhere in here. So yes, that's negative. Closing below the lower price consensus level, even peeking through, the major price consensus level, peeking through the lower price consensus level. 14-day RSI moving average finally constructed, turning down, CCI down, stochastics down, RSI down, histogram down, MACD down, fresh bearish cross, not attractive at all. I don't know if we're going to have enough volume and volume history to construct this. And it's very shaky. One red, about to have two reds. Don't have enough information for volume price trend. A little bit of room on the, plenty of room on the unbalanced volume and accumulation distribution, but look, it doesn't have really anywhere to go to the upside. Bad looking. Bad looking. And last but not least, Williams. Try to get a better read on Vegas stocks. And we can see that it went up, tested this previous ceiling, peeked through it, and it's trying to hang out. That's actually not a bad sign. We have this more important ceiling to deal with. If it's able to break out, ending with a hanging man. Short-term moving average is pointing up, middle Bollinger Band trying to get across. But 14-day RSI moving average turning over. Stochastics mixed, up on the CCI, down on the RSI, slightly up on the MACD histogram, slightly up on the MACD, looking for a complete bullish cross, but pretty darn weak. Very mixed signals. Kind of similar to WYNN in, you know, it could be positive, it could be negative, but it's definitely at a tipping point one way or the other. And if we look at what's going on with the volume, we have 1 red, 2 red, 3 red. Actually a short being initiated on Friday. That's not a good sign. And accumulation distribution ticking down, but not overly powerful yet, but it's going to run out of room. And unbalanced volume ticking up, good sign. But could you get a whipsaw on that? Yes. So 3 reds right now. Possibility of the 4th coming up in maybe a week or less, and then have to watch and see what happens with unbalanced volume. But there could be a re-entry signal with a 4th red, even though we just got it fresh on Friday with the 3rd red. So very interesting, very interesting. So can you say more positive than negative? I would say slightly more positive than negative, but certainly kind of at a crossroads. And that's about it. Another week down for Vegas, baby, and I'm sure in another week there'll be something more interesting since this coming week, with earnings, with the Fed, with the French elections, with all of these things. I think that we'll have a better picture, hoping for a better picture this next weekend. As always, all investing decisions are your own. This chart and video for entertainment, educational, and consumption of time purposes only. Thank you.